Hello, game programmers and everybody else joining in, and welcome back to another NDS programming tutorial. Today we are gonna rock and roll, literally, because today we are doing music. Last time I think I covered sound effects, and this time I'm gonna talk all about music. Some of you know that there are different ways music can be encoded. Some of you are familiar with a lot of video games using a MIDI style music type thing, sound modules. Maybe you've already looked into Maxmod and figured out how to found a sound module on the internet and figured out how to get Maxmod to play it. Good for you. Um, Thing is, not everybody likes that MIDI setup. Um, I myself included. I happen to be a guitarist, and I like, and yeah, you can hear my guitar. Yeah, so I generally like to just record straight audio in, and I just want to hear it run in my games. Pure audio, pure amps. Put the mic in front, that kind of thing. I don't usually use a mic, but I usually just go straight in, but I can talk about that kind of thing in another tutorial. For all of you Mac users out there who haven't figured out how to get the compilers working and aren't very good at the graphic art stuff, this is your time to shine. You know, just pull up that GarageBand, find some loops, drop them in, put them together, and see if you can't get something that sounds good for your video game. Yeah? You hear me? No? Alright. So, there's a few things that you are going to need before you get started. First one is obviously you're going to need your project. By the way, this is probably going to be a two-part video just because there is a lot to cover. The big thing that you are going to need though is Audacity. And even though I'm not using it to record or anything, I still need this. See, I usually record, I've got Transcribe open just because it's low power and my computer is hot as heck. But normally I do a lot of recording in like this Cubase software. It's pretty nice. But I still need Audacity just because it has the ability to export a special file type that we need when we are coding. And the other thing you're going to need, keep doing that, is you are going to need to, when I upload it of course, you are going to need a streaming library to be able, because we're going to be going through music streaming, and I have kind of like a little module thing set up that you can add to your projects. I named it sound files. I should probably name it music files or something like that. These might be updated by the time I upload them. They might look a little different than what I'll be showing you. But basically, this has a bunch of functions that do the actual music streaming into a Maxmod buffer thing for you. It sounds complicated, but I'll go through it. I'll just show you the basics in probably the second part of this tutorial, and then I'll have an advanced tutorial going through most of the code. So that's what you need. But right now, why don't we record some music so I can show you guys how this process works. Yep. Let's go. Okay, that probably sounded absolutely horrible. I'm just gonna no. We're gonna open desktop, open this up. And I'm just going to take a little listen to it. Wow, my mic sucks. Yeah, I'm just recording on my little Rock Band mic. No, I'm not even using my Rock Band mic. I'm just recording on my laptop microphone, and yeah, it kind of sucks. It picked up too much of my raw guitar and not enough of my amp. Usually I don't record this way, but oh well, what can I do? It's just a tutorial video, it's nothing special. Eventually you might hear that be part of a song in some video game we make, I don't know. Anyways, so that's our song. We got our song. It's right here. Now what we are going to want to do is, we should rename this, so it's one word, because we like one word file names when we are coding. And we're going to start off Audacity. Yeah. Here we are. Just drag this clip on. Really? Really? Alright, let's try this again, and this time I better not screw it up. Record. Wave file. Call it rock. And you guys get to hear me record this again. Sorry about that. And no, we don't want to open it. I'm going to close this out, make sure this works this time. There's our rock.wave. Let's try opening Audacity again. I shouldn't have closed that out. Come on. Yeah, this computer's starting to slow down a little bit. I'm actually getting a new computer today, so I'm a little excited for that. Come on, open up. Thank you. Drop this in here. Yeah, we're just going to read it directly. So, now we got our little file in here. We're ready to go. And what we are going to want to do is we are going to want to change our sample rate. And there's two sample rates that you can do for the NDS that work really, really well. The 22050 and the 3200. My advice is, for the most part, use the 2250 if you have a lot of stuff going on with the rest of your game. Especially if you're loading stuff in and out. This streaming music drains a lot of loading from your game cartridge. It's a lot of overload on that. So basically, if you're planning on doing a lot of NF load tile background or anything that's involving loading to RAM, you're gonna want to cut back on the detail of your music. But there's also another way you can look at this. Basically, there's a special physics rule where the maximum frequency signal and the whole equalizer spectrum, frequency spectrum, if you double that max frequency that's in your song, That's the required like frequency that you need to be able to reproduce the audio, like to reproduce those high frequencies accurately. So if your max frequency is only about like 1100, if you're, say you've got hi-hats and stuff that are setting under or like 1000 or 11,000 hertz, then, or 11 kilohertz, if you got that happening, then you can safely use the 22050 and not really worry about loss of audio quality. If your hi-hats are like ringing up into like the 14K, or if you've got some like really high piano or something, I don't know what you'd have up there, maybe like a piccolo or something, then you might want to consider like the 32 kilohertz. But if you're good at mixing and music making and mixing and stuff, it should be fairly feasible to hit the 22K and get some pretty good sounding audio. I doubt my guitar has any really high frequencies, so we're going to stick with that. So that's our project rate. And now what we are going to want to do is we are going to want to go to File. We are going to want to just export. And you want to save as other uncompressed files. And if you go to Options here, you want a raw headerless file type. Yeah. And then you want to check. You have to decide between 8-bit or 16-bit PCM. Since my guitar already sounds horrible, I'm just going to go with 8-bit. This is another thing you're going to have to decide. 8-bit PCM is not the same as just like your 8-bit like music. That uses like the 8-bit module file type setup, sound modules. This is just 8-bit like samples and such. They can reproduce the audio fairly accurately. You do lose a little quality, so it just sounds a little more bland. But if you're good at mixing and you're good at just kind of like automate and make all your instruments sound alive and jumping all over the place, shouldn't be an issue. So this is going to be an 8-bit stereo. We are going to want to remember 8-bit stereo, 22050 hertz, and we're going to hit OK, and we are going to hit, and we are going to just, actually, let's go to our project file, and let's have it save directly into our Nitro files tutorial series, because that's where we're actually going to put it. So we're going to save it into Nitro files. It's going to save as a rock.raw. We're going to clear everything. If there's anything that shows up, you'll want to clear it, and then hit OK. And I think, did it already do it? It might have. Let's check. Yeah, there's our rock.raw. So, I think that's going to be it for this half of the tutorial. Just because I didn't really want to do any more. I'm not sure if there's ever a option somewhere to export mono, if you want to export mono. I just don't see the options anywhere. you guys can figure it out there. You can come out and experiment. Yeah. Yeah. I don't see it anywhere. So even though I recorded a mono track, I'm pretty sure it exports stereo. So I think that's it for this tutorial, guys. Yeah. There's my guitar being making some noise again. Alright. See you guys in the next half.